All right, Mary, have you seen this clip where Trump now is on this big tear where he wants to buy Greenland? Have you seen this?
Well, I've heard that he wants to.
Yeah, check this out.
We need Greenland for national security purposes. You have approximately 45,000 people there. People really don't even know if Denmark has any legal right to it. But if they do, they should give it up because we need it for national security. You look outside, you have China ships all over the place. You have Russian ships all over the place. We're not letting that happen. We're not letting it happen. And if Denmark wants to get to a conclusion, but nobody knows if they even have any right, title, or interest. The people are going to probably vote for independence or to come into the United States. But if they did do that, then I would tariff Denmark at a very high level.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the language of a protector. So we've been talking a lot about our different selling styles. So again, in the comments below, a person can take the selling style quiz to figure out if they're a leader, protector, or servant. And of course, those selling styles really adapt. We need to be adaptable in all situations. And so last time we did this, it said ChatGPT said that he speaks a lot from a leader perspective, but in this case, he's definitely used a lot of protector language.
He definitely is using protector language there, but a really great persuader can use all of them. So I think that it would be interesting. I think if we were to go through a lot of his clips, we could probably find versions that sound like leader and versions that are more in the servant mindset as well too. You know, what's interesting too that I also heard is he's using both move away and move towards language. So if I can remember it exactly, he said we are moving towards, he didn't say moving towards, but he said, but he's moving towards national security. Mm-hmm. We are moving away from Chinese and Russian ships. Mm-hmm. And so it's interesting because you know, people are 50-50. I mean, it's a pretty 50-50 split on whether they are more move towards or move away when being persuaded.
What are you?
Oh my God. I am so move away. I could not be more move away.
And I move towards.
And you could not be more move towards.
Yeah. So for example, if you were to buy a car tomorrow, would you be buying a car because you wanted something new or because your current Cadillac Escalade is breaking down?
I will not look for another car until the Escalade no longer suits my needs. It's breaking down. I don't need it. I mean, it'll definitely be 100% move away. I will not. If there's a new Escalade that comes out, I don't care. I'm not buying it.
Yeah, which I think is a great survey question for people to put definitely in the comments below. Of again, if you were to buy a car tomorrow, are you going to buy a car because you're just looking for something new, or you're going to buy a car because your current car is you're just done with it and it's broken down and you just got to do something different with it. You got to trade it in, do something different, and that'll tell you if you're move towards something new or you're moving away from the pain of what you're currently dealing with.
So why do you buy cars, Jason?
Because I want something new. As soon as I buy a new car, I'm already looking at the next new car. I can't stand. Yeah, I gotta have something new.
I know. The other day you asked me, how long do you expect to have the Escalade? And I was like, I don't know, probably until the last child is out of the house and no longer around. I mean, I love the Escalade because there's
like 5 or 6 years.
Correct.
Yeah, and I freaked out about it.
I
was like,
freaked
what?
out because you said I think we determined I've already had the car about 3 years. So you were like, you're going to have the same car for 9 years, which you'll probably have 9 cars in the time.
I probably will. Well, and I was so excited because you said you wanted a Range Rover, and I was like, let's go buy one right now. I was so excited about getting a new Range Rover that I could also drive around. And then you told me, no, we're talking like 5 or 6 years from now. We're gonna have flying cars by then.
You can fly a car. I'll zoom around in the Range Rover. But yeah, I mean, I do not write, and it's funny too, like the new phones. You always have the new phone the day the new phone comes out. And I'm like, please don't make me get a new phone. Please don't make me try to learn what my passwords are again. I'm very good with things being the same. Okay, so Donald Trump in his natural state, would you say that he would be more move towards or move away?
Move towards. Because his language is always very verbose, right? It's we're always winning no matter what. Attack. I mean, he's very, make America great again. I mean, that's his whole language pattern.
Yeah, I would agree with you. And I think what's interesting, though, that we need to think about for salespeople, this is not an exact statistic, but I would say of the surveys that I've done, probably 75-80% of sales professionals are moved towards. That's their natural way, because that's the way they would buy. So it's the way they sell.
Unless they're selling insurance.
Right. Right. There's a few.
Because that would be a problem. That would
be a problem.
Right. Because if you're selling insurance is a protective vehicle. It's you need insurance in case something bad happens. So no one buys insurance for a dream to move towards something. They buy insurance because they're worried about something. So if that insurance salesperson was using move towards language, they would have skinny kids, right? They couldn't afford to feed their children, right? They would be very poor, a poor salesperson. So I think it's also important that and I don't know if this is where you're going, but maybe think of that, is that if you listen to your language patterns, you have a natural of move towards or move away. But I think it's also important as a salesperson of maybe picking a career that is also more in alignment with their move towards or move away language pattern.
Yeah, and I think you're right, especially on the move away. I mean, maybe there is can you think of a move towards message for insurance?
I cannot, no.
Okay, I don't think I can either. Because there's nothing, like, nobody wants to use it. Nobody even wants to buy it. Mm-mm. So it has to be a very strong move away message in order to sell it, or it has to be that it's a federal mandate that you have it. Is the other option. So it's just, you have to pick one of us. So it's a whole category 3 message. But for a lot, even if something is typically a move towards homes, cars, cell phones, whatever it is, being able to buying Greenland, it's better to be able to go back and forth on both language patterns. Because if we were meeting with a home sales professional, getting in rapport with me is not about the vision of the new life in the home. Mm-hmm. It's about moving away from why my current home doesn't serve me anymore. However, that wouldn't be in rapport with you. Being in rapport with you is about the vision and dream of the new home. Mm-hmm. So for the person to be able to effortlessly go back and forth, or do what Donald Trump did right here, which is, I'm going to say one sentence and move towards and one sentence move away. We need more nationals. We're going to buy Greenland because it's a must for national security. We cannot have these being so close to ships from Russia and China. So moving away from that. And so it's one sentence this way, one sentence the other way, basically saying the same thing. That's going to be, that's what is going to separate the really top performers in sales. So you could make a quota, depending on where you're selling and what you're selling. You can make a quota going, speaking just one way, maybe, but you're never going to be a top person if you cannot do both. And a lot of people are naturally doing it, but it's a good thing to kind of listen to yourself and figure out the way you go. But I like your step 1, what makes you buy something, and that's going to tell you what your natural direction is.